Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry, my name is Shonda, and this is going to be a true video thing type thing. You know what I mean? Um, the first video, which is the one I'm doing right now, is my testimony. Another part of my testimony. Because I have so much to be thankful for. I have, sorry. I have a lot to be thankful for, and so here we go. Um, when I was 13. I got what you call rheumatic fever. And what it did, it damaged my mitral valve, my heart. And when I was 17, I had to have open heart surgery to get it replaced. And I was told that I could have as many children as I wanted. Well, that wasn't exactly the truth. And don't get me wrong, I don't blame my doctors for that because, that was so long ago that back then we didn't have the technology that we have now. So I do not hold them accountable or say that they lied to me or whatever because I don't feel that way. As a matter of fact, God rest in peace, Dr. Martinez. Anyway, whew. And when I was 20, I got pregnant with my daughter. And I had to have her when I was 5 months pregnant with her. And when she was born, she weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces. I'm sorry, when she was born, she weighed less than an ounce, less than a pound. It was my son that weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, when I had her, she weighed less than a pound. And she never got to come home. But God blessed me with her for 8 months. He blessed me with that little angel. And I wouldn't trade her in for the world. I wouldn't trade that experience in for the world. That was my first shot at being a mom. I didn't get to do it on the terms that I wish I could have done it on, which was like bringing her home and things such as that. However, they did set up me a room whenever I go to see her, stay all night and stuff with her. That I had a little room that they would put me in. They did that for moms back then. They would put them in a room and they're for the kids that was in NICU. They would put the parents up in a room that they could spend that time with their children, and that's what they did for me. And so yeah, I was able to be a mom. I was able to feed her, bathe her, change her, hold her, love her. And that was my first shot at motherhood. And I remember the day before Adrian died, I was at the hospital with her. And her doctor, came in this room. He took me in this room with him and he said, he asked me if I would let him overdose my daughter with morphine. Now, me being a woman that I am, I wanted to climb over that table over him and whoop his. I wanted to choke the man out. Let me just put it to you like that. I think I didn't when I did. But what I did do, I did the next best thing. I told him the truth. You didn't give her to me. I'd be damned if you're taking her from me. No. That's how I handled that one. But on my way home that night, I did pray. And I'm a strong believer in Christ. I believe in my Father. And I believe He died and rose for us all. Not everybody believe that. So be it, but I do. And I'm not here to convert anybody. This is just how I feel and what I believe. Anyway, on the way home, I told him, Father, whatever your will, let it be done. And His will was done. The next day, her doctor called me and he told me I need to get to the hospital because she was dying. I was hurt, but I wasn't surprised. I don't know if that makes sense, but I wasn't surprised. I called my ex-husband and I asked him to come and take me to the hospital because we were losing Adrian. He said no, he couldn't leave work. I said, okay. I couldn't, my mind was not even, screw you, I will get there. And I did. I called the two people that has always had my back. And it was my mom and my dad. And they took me up there. Now these two people are so wonderful. Wonderful people. They loved me enough to sit in the background and let me sit there with my daughter and watch her die. They didn't intervene. They are wonderful people. And that's a blessing in itself. And my dad is my stepdad. Wonderful man. And as I've said, I sat there until Adrian died. And this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like I'm the most blessed woman in the world. Because I was there when that angel came into my life. And I was there when she left my life. That was hard. That was really hard. I wouldn't wish that kind of pain on anybody. My worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Now, what I did say was that I would never, ever, 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 ever have another baby. No. It hurt too much. Wasn't going to go there. And my husband and I, we were married. So, and he didn't think he could have kids. And I didn't think he could have kids. So I used protection, right? And I thank God so much that I did not know this man could not have kids. Because what he did 2 years after I lost my daughter, I was blessed with my son. And, okay, when Adrian was born, she weighed less than a pound. And when Adrian died, she weighed 6 pounds, 8 ounces. When my son was born, he weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces. I was 7 months pregnant when I had Chasey. That's his name, Chase. I went to congestive heart failure with him. So I had to take him at 7 months. And he weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces. Little video thing. Boy, that's my boy. And he was a fighter. That baby fought for his life. And I thank him. And I thank God for giving him that strength to do that. That boy's the apple of my eye. Ride and die for him like any mother would that truly love their kids. And you moms out there know what I'm talking about. Can I get a witness? When I was 29, I ended up having my first stroke. I had 5 TIAs, which are mini strokes. And I do have some disabilities from those strokes, true enough. But God gave me the strength to make it and to accept it, to accept my disabilities. There's people out there that's had full-blown strokes. And there's people out there that has had TIAs. That's a lot worse off than I am. And I thank God for that. I don't know. I don't know why he was so good to me, but he is good. Um, when I had my first stroke, what was going on was, remember when I said I had to go into the hospital and get my mitral valve replaced when had to get my mitral valve done. I had to have surgery on my mitral valve, my heart. Well, what had happened was I started getting blood clots on the mitral valve that I had replaced. And the blood clots was breaking off and they were going to my brain, which was causing me to stroke out. And while I was in the hospital, I had to have my second open heart surgery. And I had 4 more TIAs. Now, each TIA, they could have just totally damaged me for good. You know, I could have been put in a hospital somewhere, in a nursing home somewhere, not able to eat, walk, talk, anything. But God was so good to me that He allowed me to live. And I have got to tell my testimony because of what He's done for me. You know, there's people out there that's younger than I am today that is a lot worse off. And when I was 29, there was a lot of people out there younger than me that was worse off. Older than me that was worse off. And I can't take what He's given me for granted. He's given me my life. He's given me my life. And He saved my life. He saved my life in more than one way. He has allowed me to keep on keeping on. You know, I am 50 and I am able to talk. I am able to walk. Like I said, I do have disabilities from my strokes, permanent disabilities. And I even embrace those. That might sound crazy to some people, but that's okay. Because I know where He's brought me from. And I know what He's brought me through. And that's just point blank, period. And I just got to give Him His glory. And I just got to thank Him. I thank Him from the bottom of my heart. And for everything within my soul. I thank Him for it. And I appreciate it. I appreciate my family. I appreciate my children. And before I end this, I'm going to show you guys how wonderful of a dad I have. He's actually my stepdad, but he's not my stepdad. He's my dad. Let me show you how wonderful this man is to my mother and to me. When I lost Adrian, we had her cremated. And my dad, he took my daughter, her ashes, back home. I was living in Arizona. I moved to Chicago now, but I was living in Arizona where my family was at. And he took my daughter's ashes back home to Hereford, Texas. Yes, I'm a Texas girl. That's where I'm born, raised. Margaret out of school there. And he buried her with my grandma. And she has a headstone with my grandma. That's what you call a dad. That man went out of his way for me because he loves me. And no, actuality, he did it for my mother because he loves my mother. And see, this is the kind of people God has put in my life. He has blessed me with a brother that has had me from day one. I thank God for my family. Point blank. I am blessed. And there's people out there that's not. There's people out there that can't, that don't have family the way I do. That doesn't have that love from their family the way I do. I've seen it. And I have to thank God for that. You know, I mean, I was in I've spoken on it before, but I was in an abusive relationship, and my family never turned their back on me, and they never judged me, and I thought they would, but they never, ever judged me. They loved me. And what old dude don't know is if I would have told my mother, my dad, and my brothers what was going on. I remember when my mom said one time, there would have been a lot of slow driving and a lot of sad singing. Think about that. Those that understand me know what I'm talking about. I know what that means. And so he's very, very, very lucky that I didn't. I didn't want nobody ended up in prison because of me. But they were there for me when I got up out of it. And they were there with me when I was going through it. Although I never spoke to them about what was going on. They were there. And that's a blessing. It's a total blessing. And that's this part of my testimony. And I want it to be known. I want it to be known. I want everybody out there to know that knows who Christ is and knows how good God is, how He's blessed me, and what He's done for me. So everything I went through, I thank Him for it. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of Wes Morgan. Awesome singer, awesome dude, powerful testimony. I was watching his testimony one day and he said, you can't have a testimony without a test. And I thought about that, and he was right. So, I know I'm not the only one with a fabulous testimony. There's other people out there with it. If you want to share your testimony, do so, please. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear how good God has blessed other people. Now, I know there's people out there that don't believe in Christ. So, I'm not really speaking to you guys if you don't believe in Him, because I know what He is, and I know how He is, and I know what He's done for me. And those that don't believe it, and then, I'm sorry. I don't know exactly what else to say. But there are those out there that do believe in Him. And y'all know how good He is. Come on now. Can I get a witness? Share your testimony. Validate it. Give Him the glory. Give Him the glory. Just give it to Him. Anyway, that is my testimony. And I'm going to come back with my second video. So I shall see you shortly. Deuces. I am out of here.